Welcome back to Mr. Persistent, the YouTube channel. What is it going to take? What is it going to take? If you're a person who has a lot of goals and you want to accomplish things in your life, the single question you need to answer is what is it going to take? What will it take to get it out of you? That version of yourself that just will not quit, that will break down every barrier, that will learn every skill, that will conquer whatever comes their way and face with a mindset of positivity and productivity. Because positivity is a prerequisite for success. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm an entrepreneur who, over the last 5 years, has been working to develop myself, to grow, to build, to achieve the tremendous goals that I have in my life. Back about 12 years ago, I'm 28 now, I set the goal to become a billionaire, to do things in a brand new way. And I proclaim that boldly to many people around me. And through that journey, pretty much exactly after I let that desire out into the world, came challenges. Because through those challenges is how you're developed. But as you're going through them, they just seem like life. And as you go through, you say, why am I experiencing this? What did I do to deserve this? Or you're really excited about it. You could be excited about the challenges. And so over the last 12 years, there's been ups, there's been downs. In fact, I was talking with somebody and I explained my story. And she said, that's a lot of ups and downs. She was concerned for me. She was curious as to how I was truly doing. And as you're on the journey to develop yourself, this is exactly the kind of thing that you will run into, where people who seem genuinely well-meaning or are genuinely well-meaning, who are just unaware of what it really takes to be great, will question you. And in turn, life is asking, will you question yourself? In fact, in business and in life and in the circumstances of you achieving the goals that you have for yourself, it is those moments, the ones that are the hardest, that are the most difficult, that seem as though they're the end of your journey, are the things and the reasons why 99% of people break, they fall off, they quit. They seek comfort, they seek security, they seek safety, they seek belonging, they seek connection, community, whatever it is which will give them that sense of comfort that gets them away from the pain that it takes to grow. But if you are willing to dedicate yourself persistently, consistently, nonstop, even when you have the ups and downs, even when you're not any of those things, or you don't feel consistent or persistent or excellent or great, or even like what you're doing matters, those are the exact moments where you are being tested. So do not question yourself, but do not question your ability to grow or to achieve, but do question what is it going to take to bring that version of you out. So for me, from the ages of 15 to 20, I was exceptional at sales, felt incredibly confident, and got in the zone and in the mode whenever I would be out there working to sell. It was like nothing else was going on in the world. And it was fantastic. I absolutely loved what I do. I formed the deepest understanding and opinion that if I was selling gym memberships, for example, in this case, that no matter who I talked to, no matter how we got connected, no matter where they were at in their lives, that what I was bringing to them could be transformational. Because if you think about it, how powerful is it to sell someone a gym membership? It's like giving them a passcode to a better business, to a better marriage, to a better body, to a better mind. That passport to health and wellness is the gateway to a much better life. But as I got older, I went out in the world, I went to college, I learned things about the world, which were pretty much just people's opinions about the way the world worked in their narrow view and their limited minds. No matter how great they were, we all impart our feelings and our worries, especially through things like the school system, or those who have ventured out into the world and got broken, like the 99% of people who do. Those people who get broken, they tell you stories about how you shouldn't do this, how you shouldn't try that, and why it's not going to work. So I was embedded with plenty of those stories around the age of 20 and going to school and having challenges and running into people who thought that there was something wrong with the way that I thought, which when you trust and you respect people like doctors or teachers or really authority figures in your community, what happens is you think that they're right. So it was through those authority figures telling me certain things, and you're going to run into those people on your journey. They'll say, that's not right. You can't go out and do this. There's no way you can make so much money. There's no way you could start such a company. There's no way you could be that kind of person. Why would you even try to do these kind of things? That's not healthy. You can't go out and run 50 miles. That's crazy. You can't go out and build a $100 million company, or you can't make millions of dollars. Nobody from your school or your system or that I know of knows of people who has ever done that. So who are you to think and believe your arrogance, your ignorance, your whatever they're going to say about you? But the truth is that there are people out there in the world that are doing it. So why are you not doing it? That is the process of discovery and chiseling, just like Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci. Those who are sculpting from the marble and the clay, you don't realize how much it really takes to do something great in the world. We look at the people who have all of these symbols of success, and what do we think? We think they do not have the same problems. We think they don't break under the pressure of desire and temptation and distraction and diversion and comfort. And just realize that the majority of people around you, depending on your environment, you may have yourself set up in a perfect environment where everybody is striving and going towards big goals, but the chances are that's not the case. And so when you look around, when you are on that journey, you are going to feel like you can do the same things as them. And they're going to tell you that you can do the same things as them because you're different. You see how your ego gets in your own way at times. How they tell you how, oh, you're a very successful person. You're a striver. You can do this. You can come out and party with us. You can come out and have fun. Guess what? You probably shouldn't. It doesn't mean you can't. But if you are truly trying to discover the ultimate potential of what you're capable of, think about it like this. When is the last time alcohol or smoking or drugs or diversions like going out to clubs and other things like that have made you healthier, wealthier, more wise, or genuinely, truly happier? The answer to that question is probably never. And that's something it took me 10 years to realize. The reason being is that I am wired to be someone who learns from experience. And also through that confidence and arrogance, if you will, which I believe arrogance is a very positive trait. It is the ability to believe that you are special and can do things in a better and different way, which is the prerequisite and the foundation. Some don't express it, but they carry the belief. So those who express it outwardly are more often to be labeled as such, like myself. But those characteristics, as I'm alluding and telling you, those characteristics of demand from yourself, drive, desire, are all the same things. It's two sides of the coin. It's that greatness, but it's the power that can also hold you back. So in the process of that journey, like I'm telling you, for the last 10 years, I think I can go do these things. I can go have fun. And there was definitely entire batches of years, 3 to 5 years, where I did none of those things. But I was still early in my journey of learning the skills that are required to be great, that thankfully I had those years. And over the last few years, thankfully I had the opportunity to believe that I could do the wrong things and the wrong actions and go out and hang out and party and just hang out with the friends that I grew up with. But the problem is that you most likely can't. So if you're listening to this, understand and go back to what I just asked you. Has it ever made you healthier, wealthier, genuinely, truly happier? Yes, you feel more social for a moment, or you get distracted and it feels like a relief from whatever you're trying to work on. But the truth is that the right place to be in is wired so that the actions that are moving you towards your purpose, your vision, your dreams, your goals, your desires, whatever you want to call it, even if you just want to make a lot of money and be able to care for people, or even just your dang self, those things are not helping you. So take that from me. 10 years. 10 years of, again, good batches of years of not doing any of those things, batches of years of believing I could, but then returning to this essence and realization of what really matters. And so specifically what I'm talking about and where the heart of this video comes back to is, what is it going to take for you? What do you need to experience? What do you need to almost lose? If you can preface and preempt those experiences from needing to happen and to analyze yourself, which, believe me, is extremely difficult because you're probably as confident and as out there and as high degree of self-belief, which again is so powerful and so valuable, but you may listen to this message and not be able to fully receive it. But I hope and I wish and I pray that you can, because if you do, it will save you much frustration and much pain. But no matter what, even if you have to go brave all the arrows yourself and experience the trials, the temptations, the tribulations, the breaking, the mistakes, the sins, the transgressions, whatever the term is you want to use, if you have to go out and experience those for yourself, if you are purposefully and 100% dedicated to whatever it is you are trying to accomplish, you will get there. But you must remember to keep yourself in the right balance. Set those boundaries for yourself. Be sure that what you're doing is not going to take away the wonderful life that you already have. Because for high strivers, we believe that our fulfillment, that what we're going to get out there and receive is going to be so much better that it will change who we are, but it will not. No matter what it is, you're going to come back down and you're going to close your eyes at night and you're going to be that same person inside. That doesn't mean that version of you doesn't grow, that you're better at things in the world. But what I'm saying is you have to face that part of yourself every single day. That is your true self, and it's your self-perception. It is who you are. It is the presence of being able to be in the moment and not have mental angst and fight within yourself of this striving and desire that is, like I said, something that can't be changed. You want to make sure that you're taking actions that are wholly supportive. And the sooner, again, you can wire yourself to say, I enjoy putting the work in. I enjoy the discipline. I enjoy the dedication. I embrace being bored. I'm willing to pay the price. Another key point. Pay the price for whatever it is you desire. So the example is here, my wife and I, we just started working out again. And for the past few weeks, we've been pretty solid on it. And just over last week, we work out at night and we're driving home and my wife says, I'm pretty hungry. I want to eat. I said, it's 2 a.m. Like I said, we work out pretty late. I said, it's 2 a.m. And I had actually just heard a video about one of the top bodybuilders. I believe it was Sam Sulik, and he was saying that hungry nights are the cost for what he desires. And if you think about it, if somebody who's doing a bodybuilding show and is trying to build mass and become enormous in size and tremendous physique and pretty much the pinnacle of what human capability is achievable within those bounds, if hungry nights are the price for him, why are hungry nights? Then hungry nights must be the price for everybody to achieve that wealth. And I remember that health. And I remember that is exactly what it takes. And so I told her, no eating tonight. That's the price you need to pay. So what is it for you? For me, for example, or for anybody who's trying to build a business, likely that price is loneliness. I have 1,400 square feet here, but 99.9% of the time, I am alone by myself. I have my different rooms, which you guys have all seen through different times, different areas in which I've shot content. But here I am 99% of the time I am alone and putting the work in. And there are challenges that come with that, no doubt. But that is the price you must pay for greatness. Because otherwise, everybody would have the thing is that you desire. If it was all easy, if you could just hang out and do whatever, then everybody would have it. That's one of the prices that you pay. The other is definitely boredom. When you're going through and you're learning new skills, it feels like work, and it should feel like work, and you will likely get bored. But that is, as Marcus Aurelius would say, the obstacle is the way. The way is that by those things becoming what you desire to do, you're transmuting that boredom into this craving to get involved in the data behind your company, the marketing, the sales, the conversations, the PDFs that you must create, the explainers, the documents, the product guides, the product itself, whatever it is. It's tedious. It's not like it's extremely complicated to build a great business. It just requires that you're able to Put yourself in that seat and not move and put the work in. That is the price that you must pay. So, are you willing to pay the price for whatever it is? Ask yourself, what is the price that I must pay for the thing that I desire? And ask yourself, are you willing to pay that price over and over and over and over again? Are you willing to face going years, if necessary, or even a decade before you really see the fruits? Are you willing to sacrifice and put in the work and the effort and lose practically everyone and everything along the way? Because if that's what's required, then that's what's required. Are you willing to be flexible? Drop the pride, drop the ego, drop the skepticism, the doubt, whatever it is that's in your way. Are you willing to sacrifice that? If you are and you're willing to pay that price, then that's the beginning. Then the next piece, as I mentioned, is what, and the next piece, as I mentioned, is what is it going to take? What do you need to experience? What needs to be threatened to you in the sense of loss? Is it losing a comfortable income that is currently at your job? Is it losing relationships? All those kind of, what is it going to take to bring out the best version of you? Because as soon as you do that, as soon as you do bring out the best version of you, everything else can fall into place. But that doesn't mean that it happens automatically. Believe me that. Remember, as I said, those 5 years of just only working on my business, the fruits of that labor were very small. But over the long term, the development, the characteristics, the discipline, the determination, the never quitting is why I am called Mr. Persistence, even if it's a self-given title, though some very close to me do call me. So, the final piece that I will leave you here with is this. The final piece that I will leave you here with is this, that if you are willing to pay the price, that if you are willing to push through, that if you are willing to give up whatever it takes to get to where you want to get to, that if you are willing to think through what I've told you here today and put it into place and bring that version of you out now, rather than having to go through all the pain and the experiences, then you will be on the right track. But your true success is determined by your ability to never quit until you actually get what you want. And finally, there was one major realization that I had over the last few years that I think can be helpful, which I think can be helpful, which I know can be helpful to a lot of people. And that is, as I mentioned, I'm 28. So when I first got into, let's say, real out there in the global world, entrepreneurship was about 23. I'd started some other companies back when I was 16, selling clothes and doing other things like that. But through the years, as I mentioned, that arc from 16 to 20 of selling gym memberships and being just off in that world and totally immersed in it. And then from the years essentially 20 to now, trying to figure out how the world really worked. What is enterprise sale? What are enterprise sales? What is the consumer market versus and how does that really work? B2C versus B2B and all the manners of things. How do the different industries work? How do different technologies work? How do they all function together? What are the different titles? What matters to who? What is all of these things that I've learned over the last 8 years? I was in a very much taking everything in that I could from the outside world. and trying to let that inform what I would create. And while that earned me money and it helped me grow a lot, I believe personally that I'm entering a new era. And that is now that I have a deep understanding of the world, the things that you can see on the internet, on the news, on social media, in music, in movies, in games, and all those kind of things where you learn about different people, the way the world works. You can't truly succeed to the level that you desire if you're constantly trying to let the outside form the inside. You need a healthy dose of perspective and understanding. But even at that, I would say I've gotten a deep and broad understanding due to my desire to be a CEO and founder and leader. Thinking of that, I need to know how finance and technology and sales and marketing and operations and legal and everything else in between really works. So that informed and made me make certain decisions in my business about who I would target and how I would sell and what I was selling. But I was constantly trying to find, like most gurus will tell you, they say you need to look out in the world and say what you're really good at and what you love to do and what you can make money in. And that, honestly, to me, only gets you so far. Because if you think about it, if you look at the people who have truly created amazing things, they're not out there lost in what everybody else is doing, especially during the time at which they're going out to create the thing. They may have, again, that healthy dose of understanding of how the world works, but they create from the inside. They look within themselves. Again, you may need to go one way from the other. Like I said, I needed to learn from the outside to go in to thrive and to build a foundation. But as I'm looking forward, when I truly think about my biggest accomplishments and where they're going to be, I know that it's coming from the inside and going outside. I don't need to spend my time on social media or the internet or figuring out what the next thing that the Trump administration is going to do or this person's going to say. I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need more understanding about the way that different industries work. For me right now, it's about really lasering in on a specific set of applications where my talents, the things that I desire to bring into the world, will be most fruitful, and then letting the market decide. So, no matter where you're at, start to think through a lot of these topics that I've discussed with you here today. I know this can be deeply impactful and resonating for you if you are able to take this in and even just act on one of the numerous parts that I've talked about today. It will drive tremendous growth in your life. So from somebody who's out here in the world doing it, who's fighting on the front lines, who's breaking through and overcoming barriers, subscribe to this channel so that I can be a continuous guide, because I know where I am going, no matter what that path looks like. And if you're listening to this and you made it all the way to the end, and you have those goals for yourself too, just understand the work that it takes, and you're going to get there. So, signing off. I'll see you in the next video.